My name is Jim Trecker, Director of Media Relations for World Cup USA 1994. And on behalf of the entire organizing committee, let me welcome you to this very significant day in our history. I know that there's an enormous sense of anticipation about the announcement we're making today. I've taken a lot of phone calls in the last few days from people begging for me to describe it, tell them what it is. So we've planned a very brief but exciting presentation for you, so we won't keep the suspense too long. Let me, however, at the outset here, take just a moment to introduce the members of our dais. Starting from the far left, my far left, Scott Letelier, President and Chief Operating Officer of World Cup USA 1994. Next was Scott Guido Tognoni, the head of the FIFA Press and Public Relations Department. Alan Rothenberg, Chairman of World Cup USA 1994 and President of the United States Soccer Federation. We're very honored to have distinguished Vice President of FIFA and Co-Chairman of the FIFA World Cup Organizing Committee, Guillermo Cañedo. And nearest the podium, the Chief Executive Officer and Co-Chairman of World Cup USA, Chuck Cale.
From the historic moment when soccer's international governing body, FIFA, entrusted the World Cup to this country, there has been no single element around which our organization has been able to revolve. Today, all of that changes. Our logo, or emblem, is the mark or symbol by which our committee and this great event, the World Cup 1994, will become immediately recognizable. It will be seen in the tables of qualifying round results in the sports pages of the entire world. It will be seen on bottles or cans of Coca-Cola in Nigeria, Uruguay, or wherever, on packages of Fujifilm, on boxes of Canon cameras, etc., etc. Beginning today, the 1994 World Cup has a point of immediate and universal recognition. By July 1994, when the tournament has come to a conclusion, our logo will have had approximately 1 trillion separate instances of visual identification or recognition, it is estimated. This will make it perhaps the most widely seen logo for any single event in history.
En fin, señor presidente, que la FIFA está muy satisfecha,
FIFA is extremely pleased.
tiene una enorme confianza
They have a tremendous amount of confidence
de los trabajos que ustedes están haciendo
of the work that you are
y
undertaking.
que al final llegarán a la meta que todos deseamos.
And at the end, you will achieve the objectives that we all desire.
Así, muchas felicidades por este inicio
Thus, congratulations and happiness for this beginning
de un trabajo cada día más fuerte
of a work that develops stronger daily.
y que espero y estoy seguro
And I hope and I am sure
que hoy que enseñan ustedes el emblema será un brillante suceso.
that today that you display the logo for the first time, it will be a magnificent success.
Muchas gracias a todos.
Thank you very much.
Designing the logo was not an easy task, I will tell you, and far from it. Where most logos have to tell one, perhaps two things, for example, a name or an activity. Ours requires 4 separate elements. First, there's the event, the 1994 World Cup. Second, there's the sport, soccer. 3 is the location, the United States of America. And finally, when is all this going to come together in the year 1994? Pentagram Design of New York, with lots of what I hope was helpful input from both ourselves and from ISL, which is our marketing joint venture partner and FIFA's exclusive marketing partner, has achieved that difficult task in a bold, dynamic, and masterful way. Ladies and gentlemen, the logo, our symbol, the emblem of the 1994 World Cup.
about the first edition of the lapel pins. We hope you share our pride and enthusiasm in the 1994 FIFA World Cup logo. But that's not the end of our program. We have a very entertaining segment starring Tommy Mulroy, which will start in just a moment. And I know that all of our guests are in for a heck of a treat. If you haven't seen Tommy perform, you're really in for quite a thrill. Tommy will be working with some young children, and what he has planned is just absolutely dynamic. But if I can have the attention of our colleagues from the media for just a moment, at this time I would like to invite the members of the media only for a short time to accompany the dais guests over to the Oak Room, which is just across the hall to your left, where we will have some room for some photo opportunities and some interviews. That will also give Tommy some more room to perform here. And then as soon as we're done with their interviews, all of us will come back into this room and continue the celebration of the 1994 FIFA World Cup logo.
Start off, I want to introduce my partners that came in with me. These children represent our 15 million kids that play soccer all over the United States. They're going to be involved with me for a little while. So is some of the audience. I didn't really actually hear my introduction. I am an American. I grew up right here in the United States. Matter of fact, I grew up in the capital of the United States. I grew up in New York City, the Bronx. I learned to play youth soccer in Van Cortlandt Park with Hispanics, with Germans, with Polish, with everyone. That's where I got my soccer heritage. And if you did grow up in this country, you know that over the last few years, soccer has become bigger and bigger, and it gets bigger every minute. And if you're out at the field and you see our kids playing, you know how many millions of kids there are. But still, there's a lot of American people that aren't really sure what this big thing everybody's been talking about, the World Cup, is. They're really not sure what it is. Matter of fact, they're really not sure what soccer is. They think all we do is take a soccer ball and kick it around and chase after it. And just for a minute here, I'm going to do a couple things with a soccer ball that I'm not really just going to kick it and chase after it. First of all, just like a good basketball player has to be able to control a basketball with both their right and their left hand, a good soccer player has to be able to have control of the soccer ball with both their right and their left feet. Or maybe we can use our thighs. Obviously, it's a game where we're not allowed to use our hands, so we have to develop other parts of our body, our head. Maybe we can use our shoulders, outside of the feet. Perhaps we can... to have European coaching. It was like, oh, today here, today we're going to do juggling. You know juggling? And my coach told me, if you want to be a good player, you got to make that ball your best friend. You got to take it with you every minute. No matter where you go, you got to have your ball with you. Matter of fact, I listened to him so much that he started to talk to my ball. Got to the point where I used to go, come here, come on, give that, give that. This young lady represents really what it's all about here. Young kids learning to play all over the place. Now, were you heading the ball with us before in the room? You going to show them that you can head a soccer ball for us? Okay, you ready? When I throw, you head it back to me, okay? With your head, you ready? 1, 2, good girl! We also have some other players, well, to come out here for a second. Now, you got to remember, you're normal. When you're growing up, something comes at you, you catch it with your hand. Okay, it's unusual to use other parts of your body. But in other countries, kids grow up playing soccer so much that they make the coordination of their feet just like our coordination of our hands. And it starts at a young age. I want you to walk it just off your thigh. There you go, nice and easy. 1, 2. Try 1 or 2 of those. Good boy. Okay, no showing off. Hey, no, just 1 or 2. No showing off. I told you not to steal my show, okay? Okay. 4. Good ball. I brought a ball that's more suitable for them. It's the official game ball of the African Pygmy League. You know how they say soccer's played all over the world? This is the smallest real soccer ball in the world. Matter of fact, this very ball was used in the African Cup final. And this ball was used in the African Cup final that was played between the Pygmy All-Stars, I'm telling you, true story, and the Cannibal Select Team. Okay, now, you ready to hit this a little bit more like your size? Just throw it. You ready? They like that. Say something else. Okay, here we go. You ready? Right on the beat. Don't keep your mouth closed. You swallow this kid, you bought it. Okay, you ready? Wait. Let me get close. Ready? Good girl. Ball, Jose, okay? Now, I never saw Jose before this morning, okay? And we were just knocking the ball around in the back in there. How old are you, Jose? Okay, he's 10. Now, watch this. Hit the ball back to me. Good. 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 Now, I'm going to hit from my head to your head, back to my head. No, man, go ahead, man. Wait, shut up and throw it, all right? Okay, come on up here. Come on up. Does everyone understand my accent? Is there a Bronx translator in here? Anybody that's been mugged in the last 16 months in New York City can translate. Okay, ready? Here we go. My head, your head, back to my head. You ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. They said speak about soccer for a little while, speak about being an American, being involved in soccer. I played for 13 years in this country. Okay, I had more clubs than Arnold Palmer, okay? I moved from city to city and played in every league, indoor and outdoor. And I'll tell you, the one thing that I know is that what really the American soccer is all about is these 15 million kids that they represent here today. And I am so proud that the World Cup is going to be here. And I know at times the world media said, the United States, the World Cup, how do they, can they do it? Let me tell you something, okay? I'm from here, and I know for a fact, at this point, we may not have the best players in the world,